New year, new plans, business plans. Stay tuned. Hello again, my name is Christerpher F. Coleman with the Business Intelligence Group. I'm a business leader, advisor, and coach. In my business firm, we focus on business planning. I'm a 16-year United States Army combat veteran and paratrooper, and over a decade of operations leadership experience in multiple Fortune 500 companies. So I know a thing or two about business planning. But in this video, we're going to talk about business planning and why it's so important. Beyond the obvious, very obvious why you should do business plans. You should have a business plan. But the impetus of why I pivot my coaching firm around general business advisory and to focus more on business planning is because I saw a lot of business leaders, they didn't business plan and they weren't successful. There's a lot of successful business leaders out there who's gotten lucky, or they just have such a great product or service, but they leave a lot of money on the table because they do not business plan. I was talking to an entrepreneur yesterday, and very successful smoothie shop here in Redlands, and I asked her, I said, hey, do you do business plans? Like, what is your take on, when you do business planning? Just trying to always talk to entrepreneurs, just get, insights. And she said, no, we don't business plan. We took a, leap of faith and things just worked out. And I thought that was great for her, thinking about, business plans and their business. They bought the business from a business leader who already built the business, is in a great location. It's a university nearby. It's across the street from a gym. It's a great place, great product, great service. And so they're going to have revenue. But I'm thinking about, those entrepreneurs out there who are hustlers, who just want to get started. And I think that's great too. But there's a reason besides the obvious that you should business plan. And that is understanding the underlying structure of your business. And so I wrote some notes here, and just thinking this morning, I wrote this out because it just, it hit my mind. And so business planning, a well-positioned product or service drives revenue, but the underlying structure, it's what drives profitability. And so when you really think about a good product or service, if it's positioned well, it's going to do well. It's going to bring in people. It's going to bring in dollars. It's going to bring in revenue, but it has to be positioned well. You can have a good product or service, but if it's not positioned well, you won't make sales. But if you do have a good product and service and it is positioned well, what drives the profitability is the underlying structure. It's the strategy. My ideology on strategy is, where to play and how to win. Where in the market are you going to play? What are the tactics? What are the offerings? What is the difference between your product than other products? Airbnb is a great example. They brought something new to the marketplace. You look at Uber and Lyft. They brought something new called ride sharing to the marketplace, which didn't disrupt the industries, but they brought a different offering to a point where it created competition in the marketplace. So what do you bring to the marketplace that is different, some different offering, some unique proposition for your customer?
Huge 4-story beach house right on the ocean. You have your own private boardwalk that leads out to the beach in the ocean. And inside there are 4 levels to explore. There's an elevator, and they leave a Tesla for you and a golf cart. This is a golf cart community, so you can ride around wherever you want, and just all of these features combined, this place was really fun. I only had this place for 1 or 2 nights, and I remember there was just so much to do, and it was hard to get it all filmed.
And you don't get that unless you business plan. You can have a great idea, but there's a lot of nuances, a lot of problems that can arise if you don't think through those. That's the reason why I call my coaching firm the Business Intelligence Group, because business is an intellectual sport, not being the smartest, but the ability to think. And so I began to think about business cases in various industries. When you think about sports and basketball, we all know Golden State Warriors, they're going to give the ball to Steph Curry. But traditionally, they can't stop them. They can't stop the Warriors. They can't stop Steph Curry. And the reason why is because there's an underlying effort. There's an operations that was thought through, that was planned to achieve that level of success. This year you have Saquon Barkley with the Philadelphia Eagles. And throughout the whole year, 16 weeks so far, 17 weeks, everybody knows that Saquon Barkley is going to get the ball and he's going to get at least 100 yards. But for some reason, other teams can't stop it. Is this individual or people are just so good at what they do, they can't be stopped? That's part of it. But the reason is there is a game plan that is developed around certain skill sets. There's a coaching staff that's developing plays. The conditioning and the developmental coaches are all there to help, the player and the surrounding elements and resources help facilitate that style of play. And so a lot of times other teams, other organizations may try to copy, activities to try to get the same results, but they often don't yield the same results because what they see is not the underlying efforts. They only see the results. They only see the activity, but they don't see the whole operation that's in collusion or helping bolster this style of play or level of competition. And so when you look at Southwest Airlines, I think it's a wonderful business case. When I was at Harvard, going through some classes on business strategy and competitive advantage, this was a study that was brought forth that had just stuck with me over the years. And it was about Southwest. And when you think about business strategy, it's all about your competitive advantage. What do you bring to the marketplace that differs? And how can you create an advantage with your offering, with your product that's superior than someone else's or just different than somebody else's? A lot of times you don't want to commoditize because when you commoditize, it's just on price. It's a race to the bottom where, revenue is there, but you're not profitable because the prices, you're competing on price. So you want to compete on value. You want to find people that value your product and price it at what the customer values that solution. And so when you look at Southwest, for example, Southwest, they entered the market and they say, hey, we want to do something different. The status quo now is to provide, airline services, flights for, we're going to make our money from first class and business class. And so there's a lot of niceties, food, there's, experience, there's seating for this type of flyer. But Southwest said, you know what, we want to target, the customers who are going on vacation. They don't want to spend 50, 60% of their budget for vacation on airfare. So let's cut some of the niceties that is geared towards some of the well-off, flyers, and let's just focus on, families that are trying to travel for vacation, going to Disney World or Disneyland, and let's focus on them. They're already paying a lot of money. Let's help them save some money, so when they get to their final destination, there's more money for them to do the things that they enjoy. And so instead of having food and meals on the plane, they just have snacks. And so what does that do? That cuts costs. All right. Another thing that it does, it takes less time to prep the food. You don't have to get suppliers to supply the food, refrigerate the food. It takes away the need to unload the trash and load up more between each flight. And so the underlying factor that other airlines saw was like, well, they're cutting costs by not supplying food. And so, but they didn't see that that was the underlying, strategy to make them competitive, because they had a focus because of their planning. They focus on a particular target audience. And so other airlines try to mimic this activity, and it ultimately failed because customers expected, meals on the flight. And so they had to bring it back. So the airline industry, it is very, the profit margins are really thin. So trying to figure out how to increase those profit margins is about being able to create a value proposition for a unique target audience. And so when you look at the next activity that other airlines tried to copy, was the arranged seating. So Southwest saw that they would be more profitable. The faster that they get planes in the sky, they would be more profitable. So eliminating the food is one, so they don't have to, load and unload the food. But then also assigned seating. They get rid of assigned seating. It's just first come, first serve. You get, people get to their seats, the first come, first serve. They just get to the seats a lot faster. So their boarding operations was a lot more efficient than others. Other airlines tried to do it. It was a confusing mess, but there was an expectation. These other airlines already developed, and so they couldn't retrain their customers. And so if you think about somebody flying first class or business class, and they change some of these niceties, they're going to be highly upset. And so part of business and staying in business is being able to market and advertise your offering, but then being able to consistently deliver that expectations time and time again with the same quality. And so in 21st century business, it is important to distinguish yourself in your offering and your value proposition, because that is the key to 21st century business. It's not enough just to have a solution to a problem in the marketplace, but it's about delivering value to a niche audience, a tribe. If you change your thinking, change your mindset, and you begin to develop a great business plan, you'll figure out the nuances and how to develop the underlying strategy to make you competitive in the marketplace. Again, my name is Christerpher F. Coleman with the Business Intelligence Group. That's thebizintelgroup.com. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.